An aurora borealis, that's sometimes referred to as polar lights or northern lights, is a natural light display in the sky. Generally, it visualizes at high latitudes such as Norway, Canada, or Greenland. The term Aurora Borealis was derived from Roman goddess of dawn, Aurora, and the Greek name of the north wind, Boreas. Aurora Borealis have been a source of wonder for us for thousands of years. Drawings of the lights have even been found in ancient cave paintings in France, dating back to 30,000 years ago. There have been many legends about the Northern Lights. Some American Inuit tribes call Aurora Oxarniit, meaning football players, thinking it is the spirit of the dead playing football with the head of a walrus. Some Inuit tribes believed that the Northern Lights were the spirits of animals that they hunted, seals, salmons, deer, or beluga whales. There have been many famous and respected people trying to explain the phenomenon in history, including Aristotle, Seneca, Descartes, Tycho de Brahe, or Benjamin Franklin, who theorized that the mystery of the Northern Lights was caused by a concentration of electrical charges in the polar regions intensified by the snow and moisture. Italian astronomer and philosopher Galileo Galilei was the first to describe the phenomenon as Aurora Borealis in 1619. The Northern Lights have their southern counterpart, the Aurora Australis, or the Southern Lights, that can be seen from high southern latitudes in Antarctica, South America, New Zealand, and Australia. The phenomenon offers the same visual display as the Northern Lights, but since the South Pole is even more inhospitable and inaccessible than the North Pole, it is more difficult to view the Southern Aurora. Therefore, the Northern Lights are more popular and get almost all the attention. Aurora is produced when magnetosphere is sufficiently disturbed by the solar wind and magnetospheric plasma, mainly in the form of electrons and protons, accelerate them into the upper atmosphere due to the Earth's magnetic field, where their energy is lost. Most of the lights is produced between 90 and 150 kilometers above the ground, while extending at times to more than 1,000 kilometers. So, astronauts of International Space Station may be located at the same altitude and see the Northern Lights not from above, but from the side. Polar lights emerge at a notably higher rate in spring and fall than in winter and summer. The peak of frequency lies nearby spring and fall equinoxes. The duration of Aurora Borealis is from tens of minutes to some days. Auroras tend to be more frequent and spectacular during high solar sunspot activity, which cycles over approximately 11 years. The last climax was in 2013. During intense solar storms, the Northern Lights become more spectacular and can sometimes be visible as far south as Louisiana, Texas, or even Mexico and Cuba. The very best moment for watching aurora is when the auroral arcs reach furthest toward the equator, and the magnetic pole is in between observer and the sun. This special time is called magnetic midnight. No two Northern Lights can ever be the same. They are always of different patterns and colors. Green is the most common color of all auroras. Then it is pink, a mixture of green and red, followed by pure red, yellow, and finally pure blue. The colors of the Northern Lights depend on what gas is involved and how high in the ionosphere the reaction takes place. Blue and green lights form at lower altitudes, while red color comes from the highest altitudes. Auroras occur on other planets as well. Similar to the Earth's aurora, they are visible close to the planet's magnetic poles. Astronomers have spotted the lights on Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The spectrum of northern lights depends on atmospheric chemistry. So, if the Earth has the most obvious lines of excited hydrogen and oxygen particles as radiation in visible range, the lines of hydrogen particles as radiations for Jupiter are located in ultraviolet range. Although missing a magnetic field, an aurora-like phenomenon has been also observed on Venus. Scientists suggest it can be caused by the reaction between the solar wind and the ions in the Venus's ionosphere. Apart from a spectacular visual display, the lights also produce faint sounds such as claps, crackles, and static sounds. However, the aurora noise is so rare that hearing is probably possible only during times of maximum aurora activity on windless nights away from other noise sources. During polar lights activity, a huge amount of energy are given off for a short time. For example, one episode of Aurora Borealis registered in 2007 got off energy that is equivalent to the energy of 5.5 magnitude earthquake. The most spectacular northern lights in recent recorded history are considered those from the Great Geomagnetic Storm on 28th of August and 2nd of September 1859. Studies have shown that a solar storm of this magnitude occurring today would likely cause widespread problems for modern civilization. In very northern regions, such as Alaska or Greenland, the northern lights may be visible most nights of the year. Actually, they can occur at any time of the day, but we can't see them unless it's dark. Nevertheless, the further north you are, the better the chances of seeing the northern lights you have. Therefore, the Arctic is the best spot for watching this phenomenon. In winter, you can see the lights from the Arctic even in the afternoon. There are several towns famous for their great conditions for watching the northern lights. In North America, the Aurora tourism capital is Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, Canada, while Tromsø, northern Norway, is the same for Europe. Several agencies, such as National Aeronautic and Space Administration, NASA, and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, monitor solar activity and issue aurora alerts accessible to public so that people eager to watch the northern lights know when and where they can expect this impressive show.